98.1 FM and AM 1220.
It's 7:40 here on your hometown station. We're almost through the new year as well. And I also just had a birthday, and I was thinking, I was getting real introspective and deep. And here joining me to have this deep conversation with me is Chris from August Roofing. Chris, welcome.
Welcome, and gee, how are you doing today?
I am doing good. Give me 1 second here. There we go. Applause. Woo! It's Chris. Hey, Chris, how was your new year?
It was good. I've got grown kids. They live out of the state. They came home, so it was fun, but definitely ready to stop partying and get back to work. Put roofs on for people, taking care of them.
Yeah, that must have been really nice seeing all the kids, the family, everything. But you know, everyone's got that time limit, right? You can only stand them for so long. One thing, because I just had a birthday, like I mentioned, I got really introspective and thinking of like how much technology has actually changed in like such a short span of time. It makes it feel like 20 years feels almost like 50 years of like innovation now, because things are going so fast. And so I thought, well, you know, this kind of applies to technology. Chris, solar, what has been the like some of the biggest like changes and innovations in like solar? Like, have they gotten more efficient? Like, what's new in the world of solar?
Yeah, I mean, they're constantly, it seems like every year they come out with a panel that is more efficient. In other words, the footprint produces more kilowatts per footprint. So that seems to happen every year. Batteries have been a big thing for the last number of years, and you know they're constantly coming up. You know, they're tweaking them. You know, they've got them 80%, but every year they got a new little feature, a little bit more efficiency, that kind of thing. So that's pretty much like a constant that's been my experience in solar since 2015. It's like every year they get a little bit better. So, you know, we haven't reached like our like plateau or stopping point.
Yeah, and so I'm just thinking like the iPhone, for example, where it's like each year I feel like the phone, they come out and maybe there's like one really cool feature, but it's mostly just like a little bit of better efficiency, better power, but it's, you know, it's not too different. So I'm almost wondering, like, if I get solar and they come out with another version of the solar panel that I got, I should be still okay, right? I don't need the total latest and greatest to still be covered with what I have, right?
That's correct. Yeah, it's just the amount of power that's created per landscape. So you know where it could get into a thing is if you maybe had a really small roof area, and you know you're buying like panels today are in the 300 to 400 size. So if they were 500 in a year or two, you might be able to fit a few more on if you had a limited size. But most of the time, that's not a huge concern. And the panels, they're rated to run for 25 years at 92% efficiency. So once you get it up there, it's a pretty straightforward system. It's just going to be taking in the sun and making your electricity for years. You do have certain maintenance items. There's your inverter. Those last about 10 to 12, 15 years. So those might need to be changed out if you have a DC strings as opposed to microinverters. So there are some, maintenance and stuff that you should take a look at. But once you got it set up there, it's pretty much like just you kind of let it go.
Wow. So we're talking to Chris from August Roofing and Solar. He's humoring me with all my solar questions here, and he'll humor all of your questions as well if you call him over at August Roofing. So you answered my next question, because I was wondering, how long do solar panels last? And you're saying they're about an average of like 25 years or so?
Yeah, well, that's what they're rated for. So technically, they can last longer. It's just the efficiency of the cell starts degrading. So they're guaranteed the rule of thumb, or what's required, is 25 years to 92% efficiency. So that's what they rate them for. After that, they'll still be producing electricity. It might not just be as efficient.
Right. So that's the best buy date right there on them. So about 25 years or so, they'll start degrading, and they won't be producing as much. They'll still be producing, but when
Yep.
would you kind of like think, okay, this is a turning point in which I need a new solar panel, or I should be looking to upgrade this solar panel?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we do even when people don't have solar. It's all about the assessment of your situation. We take a look at your electrical consumption. We look at what putting different panels on there, and then just sit down and look at how solar is really big about ROI, or return on investment. So, okay, great, you're going to invest X number of dollars more to upgrade your system. How is that going to affect your how much money you pay every month in electricity? And you make a logical decision from there. It's a little different than a lot of home improvement projects, because most home improvement projects are, you have to do them because whatever you've got there is broken or is no longer functioning well. It's an investment that you have to enjoy, like, a roof. You want it to stop leaking. But that roof really doesn't pay you back. Yeah, a new roof keeps you from having damage, but like a solar system actually creates revenue for you. So it's a slightly different. So you kind of look at it a little different. You look at it and see, break down all the components and see, does it make sense? And then you can make actually a pretty logical decision from there.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the biggest kind of like fears is like, okay, I'm already tight on money. How much is this going to cost me extra? But then you also have to take into consideration that ROI, that return on investment. You're going to be out the money, but it's going to come back. It's going to be worth it to do this the first time. So I feel like another fear for solar panels is like, this is going to take forever to install. This is going to take a month. I'm going to have construction all over my house for like a month. And that's on average, how long does it take to just install some solar panels?
Yeah, well, I guess it depends. A lot of our systems we're doing in conjunction with a roof, because we want to make sure that the roof and the solar, have the same 25-year life cycle, so we're not pulling panels off after 10 years, and which can be quite expensive, and then reinstalling them to make sure that the roof is not leaking. But like if you just have a straight system, I mean, smaller system might even be one day to install the panels and attach it to the grid on site. There's other things that have to be done behind the scenes with the utility and plans and all that sort of stuff. But the straightest force jobs could be as little as a day, up to maybe a week, depending on the complexity of the system.
All right. Well, Chris, you have given me so much to think about. Hopefully everyone out there listening as well. You give Chris a call, go to August Roofing. How can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, like you said, you can go to augustroofing.com, fill out a form there. It'll get to Armand. He'll call you and set up an appointment with one of our project consultants. And then we are on Surrey, so you can ask Surrey to call August Roofing and Solar, and we talk to either Ashley or Armand, and they'll get you set up with one of our project consultants, and we can take a look at how it would all work for you.
Chris, it's been great catching up with you. I'll talk with you next week. I think I'll have some sort of a roofing question then, because now I'm aficionated on solar. So we'll go back to roofing next time.
All right. Sounds good. Have a great week.
All right. You too.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.